in that time frame, you were one of the first people to really break down what you thought was going to happen.
Correct.
And now it looks like everything that you said and then that 1-2 minute clip is happening.
Yeah. So just in summary, what I was saying is I talked about how she got the settlement as quickly as she did because it wasn't Diddy that settled. It was the insurance carrier that represented Diddy's companies that settled, number one. Number two is that it removed his authority to settle, and that even if the facts weren't there to Diddy, or if Diddy thought he could fight it, it's not his choice.
Yeah.
Also that people were like, no, that's not true. It couldn't have happened. Insurance companies don't settle that fast. Please don't be that stupid. Please don't. The first time someone deals with an insurance company is never after the lawsuit.
Right.
Correct.
You talk to the you talk to the defendants like for weeks and months.
Before it gets to that.
Well before, which is what Diddy's lawyers said, and we talked about that. And ultimately what happened though was Diddy wanted to handle himself. He did not give it to the insurance company until the lawsuit was filed, which is common because he didn't trust it and he didn't want his rates to go up. And then we're here today. But also, I knew that the only reason you get that level of settlement is because the evidence that the claims adjuster for the insurance company reviewed was so terrible that they say, oh, hell no, we out of here. We not going before a jury. We getting out this sucker right now. And that's what happened.
So in hearing that, which is crazy, why now is this video released? Now, we speculated because Justin Combs, Christian Combs played with the feds, made a diss track where he was like, oh, we got more evidence in another house. Where like the feds was probably like, all right, we gonna show you what we have for you.
Yeah, idiot. Let me show you what we got.
Now, I mean, a decade later almost.
And I just want to say to my very successful friends, we have, Black community, we are rising. This is what happens when you rise and you let your children still be stupid, okay? When your children don't understand what you've overcome. They go on the internet and they say dumb stuff like this when they've never lived your life, your struggles or anything else, and they think it's cute, they think it's funny.
Yeah.
It wasn't that little stupid. I think that instead, the timing correlates with the federal investigation and the feds seizing all those tapes and all that footage from his house. The search warrant for Diddy's properties was to obtain footage and tapes and etc. Now, one thing that was clear is that Diddy did pay. It was both stated in Cassie's petition, and it has been confirmed from news reports. He paid $50,000 for that tape. And specifically, it was to ensure that the hotel did not release the tape to the public. I believe that he maintained a copy of that tape, either one of two things. He kept a copy of that tape at his residence, and that copy was obtained when the feds took everything. That, or what happened was a big difference between state court and federal court is that if you lie to cops in state court, it's generally not a crime. You lie to the feds, you're going to jail.
Oh, yeah, I ain't playing.
So I believe those federal investigators, as they've been investigating Diddy's claims, they went and interviewed former security of that hotel, which no longer exists. And when you ask them questions like, did this happen? Did you ever see a tape? Do you have the tape? If you don't have the tape, who was the custodian of tapes? That was always a person. Who was the custodian? Who was the this? Who was the that? And then they name those people. Because what happens is those same people back in the day in 2016, after they got their 50,000, probably played, my name's Bennett, I ain't in it, I don't know. You can't, I don't know the feds.
Yeah, and what's the feds' success rate? Like 90?
Yeah, like 98%.
Like they do not lose cases. So when Diddy house got raided, I knew immediately then that this was way more serious than social media tried to make it.
Correct.
Because if they raiding you, they're not losing. The only person I'm seeing them lose against right now is Trump.
Yeah.
And that's because he's running out the clock.
Right.
Yeah.
Ironically.
And that's because he's running out the clock. No, young boy got drugged back in the court just now.
It's ironically because he's white.
No, it's because
he's rich.
It's because he's the former president.
He's advanced.
Yeah,
he's just an elitist.
Yeah, he's got the support
an
of
elitist.
Bill Clinton definitely lost.
Bill Clinton ain't Trump.
But he was the current president when he got him.
Because look, Bill Clinton used to mess with blacks. And then they was like, oh, he want to be one of them. He want to be liked by them. We'll humble him.
Man, they'll do the same shit to.
I like that analogy.
They'll do the same shit to George Bush.
Trump ain't do that.
Nah, Trump ain't.
Bush wasn't fucking with him.
I'm just saying they would do. Bush can't do. Nobody can do what Trump's doing.
Trump tried
Nobody.
Trump tried to cheat.
Back to the subject at hand.
Yeah.
Trump tried to cheat a go-kart race for kids.
Yeah, he does all that kind of stuff.
I mean, I cannot wait. I'm like Creole, so I can see, like, I'm psychic, but I cannot wait to see him in hell. He is going to be so entertaining. Him and, like, my great granddaddy.
We're going to come back to that.
Okay, but back to this, though. So, the tape gets released.
Yeah.
You think it's from the federal investigation.
Yes,
why would they release it, though? What is the purpose of now putting this out?
I don't personally believe, and hold on one second, let's see.
That's what the lawyers say.
Yes. Okay, I did see there was Kodak Black's lawyer. He said that he believes it was a leak and that this was going to be, that he's about to be charged in a bigger case. Yes, I said that as well.
So they're setting up a bigger case.
Yeah. So what I think is, by the leak, when I say feds do not leak, by that what I mean is it's not an intentional PR strategy. Like, feds don't have a strategy of we're going to give something to the media before we put it in front of the proper sources. But I wouldn't be surprised if, for example, he's getting ready to be indicted and this video was shown to the grand jury that's going to indict him on the federal level.
Yeah.
Because with the grand jury, and we'll talk later about how this video will never see the light of day in a courtroom in America. Well,
it'll taint the jury.
Again, it would taint the jury.
Yeah.
And because unless it was a lawsuit that was going to be Cassie is the victim and Diddy is, unless Cassie is the victim at issue, it would be considered too prejudicial.
Yeah.
But specifically, I think that, for example, if they if they've got a grand jury, you're going to put before the grand jury a volume of evidence, even though that evidence won't necessarily be admissible in a final trial. So I think that could have happened, and someone who had access to it. It could be court staff. It could be a variety of people. I've seen some people say, well, maybe it was a FOIA request. No. I love that logic, FOIA being the Freedom of Information Act, but the feds will not release something to the public or even a media outlet before someone is indicted.
So you feel like there's an indictment on the way?
Yes.
Or it has already happened and we just are
not yet aware of it. Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So does the hotel have any liability here? Because that's weird. Like, someone got $50,000. Clearly there was a crime committed.
The hotel don't exist.
But
don't matter.
Yeah, like there's still articles of incorporation at some point that someone was involved in.
See, I'm out of it because that's
nigga
said he said articles of incorporation.
No.
Somebody owns something.
Someone owns something.
Here's how we think of it. Think of it like this. You hit somebody with your car 5 years ago, and now, not you, but let's say your granddaddy. I don't know if he's alive, but
nope.
Okay, mine is gone. Okay, good.
Both of them gone.
He's in heaven. 3 years ago, your granddaddy hit somebody with their car. He's passed away, right? But he had insurance at the time. That person can still go, as long as we're within the statute of limitations, goes to that insurance company and get compensated.
Yeah.
Same thing here. I actually believe, I reread Cassie's petition. I believe Cassie got paid by the hotel.
And from Diddy?
Oh, yes. You round up every let's think about this. Here's how it would work. Why wouldn't we have heard if that happened? Because they had the good sense to settle before it had to be filed. Only reason we know about Diddy's lawsuit is because he was so arrogant, he refused to settle. This company, and I have literally bankrupted a multi-million-dollar medical device company that was publicly traded. I bankrupted them, and then after bankrupting them, my co-counsel was like, oh, now that they're bankrupted, we're going to withdraw. We're not going to be your co-counsel anymore because they're bankrupt. I said, all right, cool, because you're not smart enough to understand that even though they're bankrupted, this is an advantage to us. Because now that they're bankrupted, there's nobody to counter what I'm saying. There's nobody to support you because you didn't pay your workers. You didn't do this. You didn't. You got a bunch of angry mofos.
Attorneys.
So this hotel, so similar to what I did, I ended up getting every dollar in that multi-million-dollar policy. Every dollar. So first I bankrupt you, then I take your coins.
God damn.
Yeah, that's tough, man.
Oh, yeah. Oh, when you
just
that was
read
a company,
a little bit.
That was
tough,
a company
bro.
that killed my client's child. So I'm getting everything, and I want to ensure that the CEO's children only have to go to underfunded public schools for the rest of their lives. Like, I do not play. I need generations to suffer for your sins. Okay. And we bring it back, and what we're bringing it back to is what I believe is that now that, because that hotel is bankrupt, they have even more incentive to settle, right? Because here's the thing. Oh, this is the funnest part. Oh, legal tea. When you're suing a bankrupt company, usually you can't sue someone that's bankrupt because they're bankrupt, right? They don't exist. The only way you can sue a bankrupt company is if there's if there's an insurance policy at play that can compensate you. And then your sole discussion is you, the lawyer, and their insurance adjuster. That's it, because you're only going to get paid from that. So for that reason, I'm saying I believe that when Cassie's same lawyers who did the excellent job that they did, when they lined up everyone to sue, they went to that company. Because here's what I would say if I was a lawyer. I'd say, we know that someone in your entity was paid by Diddy $50,000 to get rid of this video or to give him the video. And by doing that back when you did, it allowed the statute of limitations to lapse, and she could never get her criminal justice because of you hoes.
Damn.
Oh, shit.
Damn.
And if you, and it was the Hotel Intercontinental. Hotel Intercontinental, this is the day of social media. If you want this to be out in the public, oh, baby, you will be bankrupt. You are a publicly traded company. Goodbye, ta-ta. They're a part of, I want to say Hilton and the other family. Yeah. And so that is the kind of thing where you go to their legal department and they say, just give them their money because it's only coming from an insurance. Literally not one dime would impact their bottom line. They don't even exist. So I do believe that that insurance policy probably paid out and compensated her from the hotel too.
God damn.
I mean, from what we've seen, she deserved it. I mean, like I don't think there's any justification for. It looked like Diddy and Bali now. We saw those videos. He got that same background that Russell Simmons got.
Next door neighbors.
Probably so.
Probably got the same. They're probably finna get the same lawyers too.
Can he be criminally charged anywhere?
Okay. So first we've got the state charges. Now the LA District Attorney's Office has come out and said they cannot charge him for assault. Statute of limitations is passed. So then the other offenses that I thought about was perhaps kidnapping. Kidnapping is a bit tricky. Many people say, well, she wasn't kidnapped because she ultimately left. No, baby, that's not how kidnapping works. I know a girl who was charged and convicted of kidnapping for literally having her boyfriend sit in a chair at gunpoint, by the way, because he had stolen her granny's like antique jewelry and they were waiting for the pawn shop to open to go get him. Okay. So, and that was sitting in his own house. So kidnapping, you don't have to move. It's more so about not allowing somebody to freely move, which happened with her. But California has this weird little narrow thing that it has to be preventing substantial movement or moving somebody from one spot to another so you could whoop their tail even more. That possibly could work in this instance because you saw him drag her down the hall away from the cameras. He seemed to know where the cameras were. Even when he threw the vase at her, he picked it up on camera, but when he threw it, you couldn't see it land and things like that. So potentially kidnapping, but it sounds like the LA District Attorney's Office would love to move charges, but seems to feel that they can't. So we'll leave that there. And then secondly, on the federal level, the only way I could see that coming in would be, or being relevant, is if it's tied into some type of sex trafficking allegation.
Which the new case
would be over. Yes.
Okay.
And the state loves to toss things to the feds because the feds have more resources.
Of course.
So potentially it could be part of the federal investigation, but unless Cassie is listed as a specific victim, that video probably ain't gonna see the light of day because it is just so it's so jarring that seeing the video, you don't even know what he's accused of. Seeing that nigga did it.
Yeah.
That one did it.
It doesn't matter.
That Negro.
So do you think
should have never learned how to read?
So do you think that leads credibility to the rest of the initial case that she filed?
Absolutely. I'd like to compare and contrast this to the Little Rod case. This case with her, yes.
The who case?
Little Rod. Little Rod is the male who is suing, the only guy who's suing Diddy. He is a former producer. He was producing tracks on his album.
Okay.
Yes.
The one that Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yes, where Cuba Gooding Jr. tried to do it to him, and he didn't want to do it back.
His was wild, but now it might be true.
Oh, I believe a lot of the allegations are true. I think the difference is, based on my reading, when I read Cassie's complaint, I could tell that the attorney himself, or herself, had reviewed a lot of the evidence personally and was drafting the specifics based on their personal review. This is something that just as an attorney, you know, and you've seen it. And that's because you can't go by the salacious stuff your clients tell you. Clients lie, clients, a lot of time has passed, right? This is 2016, 2017. Their recollection is different from others versus the little Rod complaint had a lot of salacious things that there's no way the attorney could have observed himself. Things like, and then there was pink cocaine and this. Yeah. There were certain levels of specificity that it seemed that were really just there.
He had a video, but it ended up being a gay porn star, and then the porn star came out saying, that's me.
Correct. Yeah. In the so-called receipts, the problem with giving specifics like that is that, first, the law doesn't require them. That is for the public. And once people realize, and even judges realize, you're just trying to create a show for the public, the judges, you lose credibility with them.
Yeah, so because the judge doesn't want the courtroom to be
social media.
Exactly. Right. Especially a federal judge, because you have to remember, federal judges are lifetime appointments.
Correct.
They're not sitting up here trying to play with y'all.
Trump said he getting people in there this next time 25. He said, I want them to have 50 years on the federal bench.
Damn. Yeah, he's trying to get them like 30.
No, that's what he said. He said, I want them to be.
We are going back to the slave auction. Not me, because if he gets back, I'm going to just start dating white men. That way all my kids are going to look other, but they're going to secretly, they're going to be like the new Underground Railroad.
I'm going to be working in the field.
But I'm just saying, the rest of y'all who can't pass, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to pass.
Because I'm voting. I'm voting. I'm trying to save you Negroes. But some of y'all want to vote
ugly,
for Trump.
bro.
Look at me.
I don't know. I don't know who you're voting for.
Your braids look like you don't vote.
No, because they saying if you don't vote, it's a lot of people that ain't fucking with voting this year.
There are a lot of people who aren't messing with voting this year.
But that's actually part of the strategy. Is to not vote is as good as a vote for Trump.
That is true. That is true.
And it's looking.
So what's the next steps then in this situation?
So it appears that, well, first of all, if you've been a victim of Sean Puffy Combs, this is your time to line up and tell your story. Tell it now. You can call the feds. You can call a plethora of it. You can call Tyrone Blackburn.
Who the hell is that?
That's the lawyer. That's the lawyer for Lil Rod.
That gets everybody. He's the academics girl. He got her now.
Oh, damn. I forgot about that case, too. Yeah. His academics about to go down.
Nah, it's kind of flawed.
It don't, man.
Let me say this.
What is this?
You're gonna have
don't.
But let me say this. Honestly, if you're gonna find a lawyer against a high-profile person, I plead with you, please use a lawyer who has already obtained money from that high-profile person. I'm not saying Tyrone Blackburn isn't great, but what I'm saying is he hasn't gotten paid yet. And you don't want to be one of 6, 7, 8 people who thought they were hiring a really great lawyer who could get them paid quickly, and that doesn't happen.
Yeah. Nah.
So pretty much you tell them to hire you.
Not for that. No, I can help get you somewhere. I don't do that. I don't do that kind. But I can get you to someone who can. Because you got these TV lawyers. What I do is when people come to me, I pair them with the people that the TV lawyers actually used when it's time to go to court.
We had Justin Moore up here. He was telling us about.
He was my mentee.
Yeah, that's that was one of my clients. So we had him on, and he talked about like how the TV people, the social media lawyers or whatever, the people that get the camera in front of them, they're not really actually in court anymore. Some of them paid their dues, and they just. It's not
even anymore.
Yeah.
They lose.
Damn.
Okay.
They lose. Damn. When they go to court by themselves, they lose. And I'm not naming names,
of course,
but they lose. And therefore, you have to be very careful, because what is happening now is a lot of those high profile, those white shoe law firms, it'll be a racist white firm that'll use a black face to get the case, and they mistreat their black workers. Because I get the calls from the black workers who are like, what do I do now? My mentor is this high profile, always on TV Black lawyer, and I'm scared to tell him. And I'm like, he already knows. And they're like, yeah, I know he knows. He knows, and he doesn't care because he's getting the millions to be the face. It's no different than when Black folks come in the hood, right? The wholesalers, they come in the hood, get your granny to give them $100,000 for a house and then flip it and give it to the white boys for $3. That's what we have on the lawyer side. I'm not naming names, but we all know.
Yeah. Capitalism.
Man, I didn't know. See, look, this year everybody got beef. I didn't know lawyers.
It's not
It's
beef.
not. It's not beef. It's like in the training world, it's the same kind of deal. Like training, it's everywhere.
It's not beef, but it's also, I understand the pairing, right? Because you can't be everywhere. And I'm not saying Justin is one of those. Justin is in the courtroom.
Yeah, he
actually started as a district attorney, assistant district attorney. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, there's nothing wrong with having that pair, because it gets to a point where you have so many cases you can't be in the courtroom all the time. But what happens is, I do think it is important that if you're going to partner with firms that don't look like you, that you make sure they still treat us right. Because if they mistreat their staff, if they mistreat their senior attorneys, imagine how they're really treating your case versus the white girl's case.
Yeah. So to close it.
Yeah.
Cassie, her situation is pretty much done. But
Correct.
Now that we've seen this video evidence, do you think we'll see more people come out against Diddy at this point?
Absolutely. Now, I think what's going to happen is these people are going to feel comfortable lining up and being witnesses for the feds. So I've seen one of the attorneys who did make a statement that perhaps the feds released this in part because they wanted more witnesses to feel comfortable talking. I like that logic. It can make sense. Now, again, I don't think the feds did it, but I think they may have. Sorry, we watch Power, right?
Yeah.
And we see how sneaky those mofos can be. Some of that stuff is accurate. That's how they want to win so bad. Because you be an assistant U.S. attorney, that's how you get nominated to be a lifetime appointment judge.
Exactly.
Where you never have to pay back your student loans, baby. That's serious. Some of these people got $250,000 in student loans from law school.
Crucial.
And so the advantages are clear. But I do think that they want to line up more witnesses. They're going to get more witnesses. I've seen some attorneys say, oh, I think this means they don't really have a case. Doubt it. I just feel like with all the evidence that was removed from his house, they going to have a charge. They're going to come up with something.
But it's a strategy involved that they have to attack. If they don't attack the right strategy, it's
correct. Okay. If it's not the right strategy.
Oh, so he's just said that the drug mule that was in the Little Rod case signed the plea deal already.
He's going to be my favorite, guys. We're going to have to pay attention to Brendan Paul. So when I saw that dirty little white boy, I knew that, it was going to get juicy.
Wow.
And he did look a little stinky, but he looks like the kind of stinky that he's never actually been to jail. He's just not. He just doesn't use washcloths.
They said he used to poop or something, right?
He's from Cleveland.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's like tall and everything. Yeah. Cleveland. Oh, okay. I'm familiar. I went to University of Pittsburgh undergrad. So, but I think that with him, so some people are saying, oh, his charges were so minimal, he has no incentive to flip. Are you? Okay, you don't know how this works. That's not how it works. You can have low-level state charges, but the feds will still come in and threaten you and make you feel that they could potentially bring federal charges on you that are going to be so severe that you need to comply. And more importantly, this is why you always, if you're going to talk, you only talk with your lawyer. Because when you're dealing with the feds, they have something that's called a proffer. Proffer is when you come in under complete immunity and you tell everything you know. And based on that, they decide how much they want to help you. Because they know this gentleman.
Is that what Kelsey, I'm sorry to cut you off.
Go for it.
Kelsey from that Tory Meg case, was that kind of similar?
Yes, correct. That's a great example. Man. That is what happened with Kelsey. Kelsey went in there, she had the immunity, and that's why she told the truth the first time. Because the thing about a proffer is if you lie, if they catch you in one lie off the table and everything you have told them can be used against you.
Damn.
Everything. So the best kind of person to use to flip is someone who was only dealing with low-level consequences anyway versus a high level. Because if you go before a jury, you're going to have to tell the jury that this person was offered something. And if you say, oh, well, they were facing murder charges in life, but now that we've gotten their story, we reduced it to 5 years, a jury is going to be like, oh, we're not going to believe them. They have an incentive to lie because of what they were facing. But if you have someone who was only facing something that seemed probationary, at least based on the fact that that's what they got on the state level, you can come in, let that man sing like a canary. Like that.
It's a rare condition in this day and age.
No, that's
patriotic condition. But the grand design. Harder to find.
But exactly.
She was about as off key as Eddie Winslow when he had Tracy Spencer.
Oh, I love Tracy. Oh, she really, yes. My mom always told me that. My mom told me she disappeared because she sang the song about giving up her virginity, and then she gave it away, and then nobody wanted to hire her. So I kept mine for a very long time. I still got it in my pocket, actually. Anyways.
Baby,
back to the point. Hold on. Back to the point at hand.
Yes.
I didn't take my ADD meds today.
Pussy pocket, man. No, I'm saying she said she put it in her pocket. No,
my father watches this show.
What's up, Pops?
What's got something for you, boy?
You all right with me, Pops? Don't start no bush.
Chastity belts.
Chastity belts.
Oh, yeah. I used to have one of them. Yeah.
That old guy.
I did. Yeah. What?
You said yeah.
I was engaged.
You just incriminated yourself.
Anyhow. But no, the point is singing like a canary. Singing like a canary. Brendan Paul has an incentive to tell it all. And most importantly, with him being the drug mule, he saw the dirtiest
He
of
saw
the dirt.
everything. Yeah.
And that's because we've seen from Cassie's complaint, she stated that part of Diddy's strategy, as well as Tyrone Blackburn stated, part of Diddy's strategy is he gets you into the mud with him, doing the dirt, and then he uses it to blackmail you, to have you continue doing it by saying, I've got this video of you doing these
that's what I was
negative
saying
things.
Yeah.
Yes. So with the drug mule, he's got him involved in all of this drug-related stuff. So that would be the best person to flip because they would have seen all the dirt and would have been the least dirty.
So the drug mule, he was the one serving the pink cocaine?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Him and Young Miami, allegedly.
Yeah.
Damn,
poor Miami. I'm glad she's being quiet, and I hope she's got a really
smart.
Good attorney. Because the thing of it is when you are someone's co-defendant, you have to have a separate attorney. And a lot of those attorneys really do not want one of your co-defendants to pay them. Because for us, it can be an ethical issue with us if I'm collecting money from someone. Because even though I'm structuring and I'm running the strategy for your defense, if you don't like it, if you get a sentence that you're not happy with, you're going to come to the bar against me and I could lose my license, and you're going to appeal based on me. So I say that to say, some people are like, well, couldn't Diddy pay for his lawyers? They could, but it's unlikely that that lawyer would want that money or that it would go that way.
Man, so back to our earlier comment, Diddy being done, I don't think there's much that he should be able to rehabilitate himself in society at this point.
I really think about, what's he going to do now? What's he going to do now for a living?
He's wealthy.
Good Burger?
He's wealthy.
No, he's
wealthy.
Get out the way. You just got to
get out the way.
You got to get out the way.
But his ego won't allow him to do that.
You don't think so?
That would be, remember when we had the economy crash and all those people were jumping off buildings?
Yeah, Lehman Brothers had
I ain't gonna lie, looking at that
jump off buildings.
That video
he did, he looked like he was out of there.
Yeah. But because with men like him, one of the biggest mind fucks for them, oh, please, I hope you can bleep me out. My mama's going to be so mad. One of the biggest ones is when they can't do things they're used to do, like going to their favorite New York City restaurant with no reservation.
Just walking in.
And getting that private room.
Yeah.
He can't do that, especially we're in the social media age. Somebody sees him coming in and gets any special privilege, they're like, the Serafina restaurant supports a domestic abuser.
I love that movie, the Madoff movie on HBO. show with Robert De Niro. So like that story came out, and then the wife tried to go get her nails
No,
done.
what
And they was like, no, we're not doing it.
Tell us the story.
Huh?
No,
I'm just
I
saying
didn't
that
watch it.
Madoff.
Yeah.
You know the Madoff story.
No, boo, I didn't watch it.
But you know the Madoff-
But you know the
the
Madoff
situation.
story.
Madoff.
When he-
I know what he did.
Ponzi
Yes.
scheme.
So they made a
Ponzi
movie.
So
scheme.
when the story
Okay.
came out, he got arrested, and they was going through the thing. She tried to go
Do the
like go
same
to
stuff
her
she was doing.
same shit she
Yeah.
was doing, and they was like, "Nah, we don't fuck with you."
I love that. And honestly, to the regular people of America, that is how you really get these mofos who've gotten off on stuff.
Correct.
You make them live a regular ass life like
So
the
you
rest
talking
of
to
them.
all four of them.
Basically, yeah. They walking around like us.
Yeah,
Oh no, he on auto pay.
Oh,
Yeah. I'm talking to all three of us.
yeah. No, I'm not talking about making the daughters suffer because I feel terrible for them.
Yeah,
I,
that's fucked
I
up.
don't even know who is going to. I mean, they're 17. They're going to be going off to college.
Yeah,
soon.
yeah.
And
the kids.
they've got, hopefully they've got great aunties in their life, like Auntie Kimura
Yeah.
and others.
Mm.
But I mean, that's going to be really messed up. They're going to have to visit their father.
Even the kid did some dumb shit, but even them, like
yeah, the adult.
you know,
But he's 26.
yeah,
Right.
but you did a mistake, but I wouldn't hold him to the Diddy shit.
Correct.
True. Yeah, I
no,
get
no,
it.
no,
I
that's
get it.
fair.
Yeah, yeah.
But that also, if you've ever read the book, The Coldest Winter Ever, it's like that's coming into fruition for the kid. The gist of it is she was raised in New York City by a drug lord. Her dad ended up going to prison for life. Her mom ended up going crazy because she depended on him. And she ended up having to become a prostitute and doing all these things to take care of herself because her parents babied her so much she had no life skills. I say Christian Combs, in a male grown-up way, is similarly going to be incapacitated because he has no skills, he has no education, he never had to work for anything, and he was so privileged because of the fear that his father put in people. Nobody fears that little boy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not at all.
Yeah.
And I don't even know where he could work.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
Yeah.
You
He's
ain't.
not even a
yeah.
good music artist.
It could be, damn.
Yeah.
Right. No, that's
he got
that's
a few
for
hits.
real.
No,
He got a few
seriously.
hits, though.
But that's
Are they his hits or are they
that's
his
what I'm
dad's
saying.
hits?
That
He got a
is.
few hits, though.
I feel you. But I mean, with his Harlem Shaking skills, he could be one of them
Yeah.
sign people.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think
he can
fit
perform
in.
on street
He
corners.
can fit in with
I would
this social
totally
media
give him
era.
like $2 bills.
You know what's crazy?
I've got them in my purse right now.
Here come another JC story about the people that tell him shit. But I got a boy, and y'all know who I'm talking about. Y'all do. But he lived out in L.A. It was a point in time where he
Is
was
his name
DJ.
Deshaun?
No.
Does he do crack?
No.
What? What?
He's a DJ out in L.A.
Why would we be with the crack?
He's a DJ out in L.A.
It's not
So
crack.
he
I'm sorry, it's cocaine.
Does he do crack?
It's cocaine.
Go
It's
ahead,
cocaine.
JC.
I'm
My
sorry.
bad,
Go
bro.
ahead,
My
DJ
bad.
out in L.A. He was DJing for a premium artist at the time. That boy Combs used to come out to hang out with them. And he, and my boy was older than everybody. He was the DJ, and he would just sit back and look. He is. But he would say, like, it was odd that he would just come around and just wanted to be, like, a part of the guys. And you got your daddy over here, with the mansion, and y'all, it looked like y'all cool. But it's like, why are you around us? Like, and he would say, like, they'll be chilling with, it'll be a party, whatever. It'll be chilling with chicks, and the chicks would leave them to go Diddy house. Like, that's where the...
So it was almost like he was like recruiting the chicks?
No, it was just like, I'm just saying that's one part of it. And the other part of it is Diddy was still trying to, do whatever he was doing, but the boy would always try to get away from it.
He probably liked that normalcy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he liked the normalcy.
And he said it was always weird. He never really talked to him about it, but that was going on for months and months at a time.
Totally
Got a
makes
normalcy
sense.
kink.
Well, the freak off is
It's
ruined.
not a kink.
That
It's
is
your
a
daddy
kink.
is a weird
No,
motherfucker.
When you were like a superstar and all that stuff,
You want to be
you want to do. You see
like
it on
Michael
No, that's
Jackson.
true.
Like Michael
you see it
Jackson.
on movies
Yeah.
and TV shows where they just want to be. You remember the movie The First Kid
Yeah.
when he just
Okay.
wanted to go to the mall.
Uh-huh.
Simple shit like that.
Yeah, and you want to be around people who don't want nothing from you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's probably what was the case there. My brother's a music producer and lived in California.
Right.
And he used to have all kind of people. He loves Cassie. He loves Christina Milian. They were always like such nice, like humble young ladies he talked about. They come to the studio, they do their work, and, they keep it moving. There was never any issues. There was never a lack of humility. And apparently that was like very rare. But yeah, it's going to be unfortunate because all of this is coming down to play. But yeah, do y'all think he's going to jail?
I don't know if he...
I don't think he's going to jail.
I don't think
I just know that he
it's complicated. I don't know.
he is not gonna be the person that he once was,
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
and in the public eye.
I do feel that him being ostracized from community, ostracized from the elite lifestyle that he had before, as compared to a regular person, that is going to be such trauma for him. It would be such a punishment for him. I'm not saying it's the only punishment he should get, but it would impact him to a totally different level that if he doesn't get criminally punished, that's going to put him in his own prison.
It's some people that's just like connected to American lifestyle. And he was one of those people. You got him, maybe like Michael Jackson was that.
Yeah.
Dr. Dre is probably that, like, whatever, Michael Jordan. He's one of those guys. That shit really might fuck him up.
His identity is wrapped around his power. He's nobody without his power. And when you've dated a man like that, you can feel it, you can sense it, because they do anything to keep it, which was the issue with him and Cassie.
Yeah.
Why he beat her. And then 2 days later, they had video of the two of them at an awards ceremony, because what would he always dangle above her head? It was, I can make you a star or not. And then he also made her parents beholden to the money that he would give her. So he would take care of her and he would take care of them. That's why when I was young, when I first found out I was cute, and I had all these little franchise players and stuff that wanted to fly me here and there, I never let myself get addicted to the lifestyle they provide, because then I knew they could control me. So they'd be like, can I buy you a purse? I'd be like, no, but you could buy me this LSAT prep book. You could pay for my LSAT test. You could pay for my retake.
And hopefully you'll see what I'm doing and change your attitude.
And for the boys, for the men who weren't willing to pay for my LSAT, but you would pay for me bottles and you would pay for bottle service for my girls. I knew where that was. And that's why they where they at and I'm where I'm at.
Yep.
Because them same mofos are some of the ones that got wrapped up in the federal investigation. They were doing, I'm not going to say which sports, but they were doing, I will say sports.
Know.
But round of applause for Symone, y'all. Round of applause. Thank you for
Thank you for
break this down
having me.
again. Break this down
And
again.
my unmedicated self.
I was looking at that cup the whole time.
But tell the people where they can find you. Obviously, you can find her with us as well.
Absolutely.
But where can they find you, all your good stuff again?
Yes, you can find me on YouTube at Girl, Is That Legal? And you can also find me on
with the exclamation point and the question mark.
Yeah, but you don't even have to use the punctuation to find me. But that's how it's
it the same way every time. That's why it's funny.
Yeah.
Like,
So
Girl,
I'm gonna give you some promo with the camera.
Okay.
Girl, is that legal?
Sound like Florida Evans.
It sound like 227.
So many people.
They say hurricane season's coming.
Yeah, too many people got Girl, is that legal? I'll let you know. Write me in some questions. You're gonna send me questions. DM them to me on my Instagram, which is attorney Symone Redwine. You can also find me on TikTok. I don't know how to check my messages there, but my TikTok is that legal?
The Fed's on it. That's why. TikTok.
And that is episode.
Oh wait, no, we got so much to go to.